Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Cryptid Iceberg. This will be layer 2 to the iceberg, so let's not delay any longer and get right back into it. And as always, thank you for watching.
Layer 02.
Golems. Golems are humanoid creatures found in Jewish mythology. Golems are large humanoid creatures that are usually made of clay and usually had a talisman in its mouth or a word etched on its forehead which would bring it to life. The word that brought the golem to life was emet, which means truth in Hebrew, and if the golem got too destructive, the only way to kill it was to erase the first E in emet, turning the word into the Hebrew word for death, met. People usually create golems to help with tasks or be a guardian of a town. However, if the golem didn't get what it wanted, it got violent, destroying everything in its path until it stopped. Griffin. The griffin, Gryphon, is a legendary creature with the body, tail, and back legs of a lion, the head and wings of an eagle, and sometimes an eagle's talons as its front feet. Because the lion was traditionally considered the king of the beasts and the eagle the king of the birds, by the Middle Ages, the griffin was thought to be an especially powerful and majestic creature, and since classic antiquity, griffins were known for guarding treasures and priceless possessions. In medieval heraldry, the griffin became a symbol of divine power and a guardian of the divine. Krampus. Krampus is a horned anthropomorphic figure in Central and Eastern Alpine folklore who during the Christmas season scares children who have misbehaved, assisting Saint Nicholas. The pair will visit children on the night of the 5th of December, with Saint Nicholas rewarding well-behaved children with gifts such as oranges, dried fruits, walnuts, and chocolate, while the badly behaved ones receive punishments from Krampus with birch rods. Now, Krampus is neither good nor evil, as Krampus is a symbol of punishment or retribution, with the folklore being a teaching for kids to not be bad, along with a film about the said creature. The film's actually much scarier than what he actually does. He just kind of punches people for being bad. No way, I take that back. He actually will eat you in some cases, or he'll just beat you up with a stick. In the cases where he eats you, he might just straight up take you to hell. Leprechaun. A leprechaun is a type of fairy in Irish folklore, usually taking the form of an old man, clad in a green coat, who enjoys partaking in mischief. They are known for being associated with the holiday St. Patrick's Day. Leprechauns are said to spend all their time busily making shoes and store away all their coins in a hidden pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. If ever captured by a human, the leprechaun has the magical power to grant 3 wishes in exchange for their release. Troll. The troll is a fearsome member of a mythical anthropomorph race from Scandinavia, mostly Norway. The role ranges from fiendish giants, similar to the ogres of England, to a devious, more human-like folk of the wilderness, living underground in hills, caves, or mounds, depending on the type of troll. The forest type sometimes likes to hide or hibernate in deep springs or rivers. The mountain troll mostly likes to house in mounds or hills. In Orkney and Shetland, trolls are called trows, adopted from the Norse language when the island was settled by Vikings. Unicorn. A unicorn is a mythical, usually white animal generally depicted with the body and head of a horse with long flowing mane and tail and a single, often spiraled horn in the middle of the forehead. It's an animal that's mentioned in the Bible that is usually considered an aurochs, a one-horned rhinoceros, or an antelope. Vampire. A vampire is a creature from folklore that subsists by feeding on the vital essence of the living. In European folklore, vampires are undead creatures that often visited loved ones and caused mischief or deaths in the neighborhoods they inhabited while they were alive. Jinn. The Jinn are a spirit inhabiting the earth but unseen by humans, capable of assuming various forms and exercising extraordinary powers. Belief in Jinn was common in pre-Islamic Arabia, where they are thought to inspire poets and soothsayers. The Leviathan. Leviathan is a sea monster defeated by Yahweh in various scriptural accounts. Also known as a large sea animal, this Leviathan of animals is the great blue whale. The monster, while now extinct, preyed on medium-sized baleen whales which were between 7 and 10 meters long, smaller than today's humpback whales and widely diverse at the time. The authors would speculate that Leviathan became extinct as a result of changing environmental conditions. Roc. The roc, or rook, is a gargantuan avian from Middle Eastern legends. It was described to be a colossal eagle or hawk-like bird of prey. It was said to be incapable of carrying and hunting the largest prey animals, such as full-grown elephants. Aswang. An aswang is a cryptid in Filipino folklore. The aswang is an inherently evil werewolf and vampire-like creature and is the subject of a wide variety of myths and stories. Spanish colonists noted that the aswang was the most feared among the mythical creatures of the Philippines, even in the 16th century. The myth of the aswang is well known throughout the Philippines, except in the Ilocos region, which is the only region that does not have an equivalent myth. It is especially popular in the western Visayas regions such as Capiz, Iloilo, Negros, Bohol, Masbate, Aklan, and Tuig. Other regional names for the aswang include tik-tik, wak-wak, and sok-sok, which is the noise it makes when chasing prey. Bunyip. The bunyip, also known as Kian Prati, is a creature of Aboriginal mythology. It lives in swamps, billabongs, creeks, riverbeds, and waterholes all over Australia. Bunyip, in the Wemba Wemba language, means devil or evil spirit. Aboriginal peoples used to tell tales of creatures that stalked the waterways and ate any prey that came close, and the creatures had developed a taste for people, mostly children. Many of the modern sightings that have come from Australian people come in a wide variety of descriptions: scaly, furry, big, small, skinny, beefy, and so on. Mermaid. A mermaid or merperson is a legendary aquatic creature with the upper body of a human and the tail of a fish. Mermaids appear in the folklore of many cultures worldwide, including Europe, Africa, and Asia. Ahul. The Ahul or the Athul is a winged cryptid. Some portray the creature as a giant bat, while others claim it is a flying primate. The name Ahul comes from its loud, distinct cry, and Ahul. It is said to live in the deepest parts of the jungles of Java and can be found across most of Indonesia. Air rods. Air rods, called flying rods and sometimes referred to as skyfish, are something like crop circles, and that even skeptics acknowledge their existence. The only question is what they really are. Air rods have never been seen live with the naked eye, but are picked up by cameras and cell phones all over the world. Phantom cat. Phantom cat, or the Gippsland phantom cat, is a feline cryptid in the Gippsland region of southeastern Victoria in Australia. Although there have been reported many sightings of feral cats as present throughout Australia, there is yet to be definitive proof that big cats exist in Australia, despite hundreds of reported sightings. Bear Lake Monster. The Bear Lake Monster is a cryptid appearing in local folklore near Bear Lake, the Utah-Idaho border. The myth originally grew from articles written in the 19th century by Joseph C. Rich, a Mormon colonizer in the area, purporting to report second-hand accounts of sightings of the creature. However, he later recanted the stories. In recent years, the monster is considered to be a tourist attraction. The last sighting was reported in 2007. Beast of Bray Road. The Beast of Bray Road is a hairy humanoid with canine features that was sighted near the towns of Delavan and Elkhorn in Wisconsin, mainly during the 1990s. It was labeled a werewolf in local folklore. However, most cryptozoologists have labeled it as a Bigfoot, in order to avoid dealing with the scientific absurdities involved with werewolves. However, some people think that it is a cryptid canine instead. Some researchers consider the Beast of Bray Road to be identical to a kind of Wisconsin Bigfoot named the Bluff Monster, or the Eddy. Other names that have been applied to the Beast of Bray Road include the Bear Wolf and the indigenous Dogman. Bessie. One of Lake Erie's most iconic figures is Bessie, or South Bay Bessie. Bessie has been spotted in the lake from Canada to Pennsylvania. Bessie is a name given to the alleged lake monster in Lake Erie, also known as South Bay Bessie. The first recorded sighting of Bessie occurred in 1793, and more sightings have occurred intermittently in greater frequency in the last 3 decades. Bessie is reported to be a snake-like and 9 to 12 meter long, at least a foot in diameter, with a grayish color. The Bloop. The bloop was a powerful ultra-low frequency underwater sound of uncertain origin detected by the National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration in 1997 in the South Pacific. According to earlier speculations, the sound would have been emitted by a very large, still undiscovered marine mammal, which would also be named bloop after the sound. However, in 2012, the NOAA determined that the sound is consistent with noises generated via non-tectonic cryoseams originating from glacial movements such as ice calving or an ice quake, seabed gouged by ice. The previous explanation, however, is still not disqualified. Champ. Champ or Champy is the name given to a reputed lake monster living in Lake Champlain. The lake is a natural freshwater lake in North America, partially situated across the US-Canada border in the Canadian province of Quebec and across the Vermont-New York border. While there is no scientific evidence for the cryptid's existence, there have been over 300 reported sightings. The legend of the monster is considered a draw for tourism in the Burlington, Vermont, and Plattsburgh, New York areas. Devil Monkey. There have been reports of devil monkeys, which are large baboon-like primates that are now being spotted in the wooded areas of Flagstaff, Arizona. The eyewitness said that she noticed her dog was acting very agitated and scared when they were on a hike through Mount Eldon Forest Trail, when she noticed a small group of primitive-looking creatures scurrying around the rocks. She described them as 4 to 5 feet tall, very quick and agile. These so-called creatures are called devil monkeys in other places of the United States. There have also been other sightings in other states such as New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado. Deloy's ape. Deloy's ape is a hoax of a large primate encountered by Francois Deloy in South America. Apart from testimony of claimed eyewitnesses, the only evidence of the animal is a photograph. Dodo. The dodo bird lived on the islands of Mauritius and is thought to have gone extinct in the late 17th century due to human activity. Fiji mermaid. Fiji mermaid was presented as a mummified body of a creature that was supposedly half mammal and half fish, a version of traditional mermaid stories. Though many people believed the claim, the Fiji mermaid was actually the torso and head of a baby monkey sewn to the back half of a fish and covered in paper mache. Ghosts. In folklore and popular culture, a ghost is the soul or spirit of a deceased person, taken to be capable of appearing in visible form or otherwise manifesting itself to the living. Descriptions of ghosts vary widely. The mode of manifestation can range from an invisible presence to translucent, wispy shapes, to realistic, lifelike visions. Ghosts are generally described as a solitary essence which haunt particular areas, objects, or people with which they are associated in life. Though stories of phantom armies, ghost trains, phantom ships, and even ghost animals have been recounted, these creatures are believed by some to be demons. Okay, so now from all the more well-known cryptids, we're going to switch over to what I'm going to call the red zone, with the lesser well-known cryptids, starting with giant anaconda. Reports of giant anacondas date back as far as the discovery of South America, when sightings of anacondas upwards of 150 feet began to circulate among colonists, and the topic has been a subject of debate ever since among cryptozoologists and zoologists. Anacondas can grow to sizes of 20 feet and beyond, and 330 pounds in weight. Although some python species can grow longer, the anaconda, particularly the green or common anaconda, is the heaviest and largest in terms of diameter of all snakes, and is the second largest extant snake in the world behind the reticulated python. The longest reputably measured and confirmed anacondas are about 25 feet long. Lengths of 50 to 60 feet have been reported for this species, but such extremes lack verification. The only real reliable claims that can be found describe measured anacondas ranging from 26 to 39 feet, although these remain unverified. Indrid Cold. Indrid Cold, commonly known as the Smiling Man, is an allegedly humanoid entity. The nickname comes from the being's tendency to smile at almost everyone that encountered him. It is said that he still visits West Virginia to this day. The Grinning Man is reported to be human-like in appearance, though is commonly associated with UFO activity and is sometimes believed to be an alien. It is also believed possible that he is connected with the Men in Black. In his first sighting, he was described as being over 6 feet tall and wearing a reflective green suit with a black belt. He had a dark complexion and small beady eyes set far apart. He was described as not having any nose, ears, or hair. In his second known encounter, his suit was said to be blue instead of green, but still retained its reflective property. Along with that, he was described as looking perfectly natural, with slicked back hair, a coat with 2 top buttons unbuttoned, and having pants lighter than the coat but still the same material. He's also described as being quite tan, though not dark, and looking like any normal human being. According to reports made by Woodrow Derbinger, Indrid Cold came from a planet named La Nulos in the Ganymedes galaxy, and that there were 2 other grinning men by the names of Demo Hassan and Karl Ardo. Kappa, alternatively called Kawataro or Kawako, are legendary creatures found in Japanese folklore. In Shinto, they are considered to be one of many sujin. A hair-covered variation of a kappa is called a hayosube. Kappas are typically depicted as roughly humanoid in form and about the size of a child. Their scaly reptilian skin ranges in colors from green to yellow or blue. Despite their reptilian features, Kappas are said to have ape-like faces and scraggly green hair. Their most notable feature is an indentation on the top of their head that holds water called a sara. This is regarded as the source of their power. This cavity must be full whenever a kappa is away from the water. If it spills, the kappa will be unable to move. Although they are reported to inhabit all of Japan, they are often said to be particular to Saga Prefecture. Kasai Rex. The Kasai Rex is a gigantic theropod cryptid from the DRC in Africa. It is said to be a surviving species of theropod dinosaurs such as a Tyrannosaurus rex or a Gigantosaurus, as the cryptid's namesake. Although quite a low possibility, if it's indeed an alive African theropod, it's likely a species of Spinosaurid, Ablosaurid, Allosaurid, or Carcharodontosaurid, as there have been no known species of Tyrannosaurid ever depicted or recorded in Africa. It has also been depicted as a species of gigantic monitor lizard, as well as species of bipedal terrestrial crocodile, which are all much more logical speculations. Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp. Many theories have been presented in relation to the identity of lizard men. Theories such as living dinosaurs and even offshoots of evolution in which the reptilian hierarchy continued to evolve along the same path as early primates. At one point in time, reptiles ruled the Earth. It is not out of the realm of possibility that the most dominant species on the planet could continue to evolve in small numbers unseen by mankind. Although no reptilian species known to man have shown signs of such advanced evolution, the reptile is the oldest and most successful species on the planet, and could hold secrets that have yet to come to light. In Lee County, South Carolina, a strange reptilian humanoid was reported on several accounts. The first modern reported sighting of the creature was made by George Holloman Jr. in the fall of 1987, but it was the report by Christopher Davis, a 17-year-old local man, that made the lizard man famous. Davis said he encountered the creature while driving home from work at 2 a.m. on June 29, 1988. According to his account, Davis stopped on a road bordering Scape or Swamp in order to change a tire which had been blown out. When he was finishing up, he reported having heard a thumping sound from behind him and having turned around to see the creature running towards him. Davis said the creature tried to grab at the car and then jumped on its roof as he tried to escape, clinging onto it as Davis swerved from side to side in an effort to throw it off. After he returned home, Davis' side mirror was found to be badly damaged, and scratch marks were found on the roof's car. Though there was no other physical evidence of his encounter, I looked back and saw something running across the field towards me. It was about 25 yards away, and I saw red eyes glowing. I ran into the car, and as I locked it, the thing grabbed the door handle. I could see him from the neck down, the 3 big fingers, long black nails, and green rough skin. It was strong and angry. I looked in my mirror and saw a blur of green running. I could see his toes, and then he jumped on the roof of my car. I thought I heard a grunt, and then I could see his fingers through the front windshield where they curled around on the roof. I sped up and swerved to shake the creature off. In the month that followed the Davis sighting, there were several further reports of a large lizard-like creature, and of unusual scratches and bite marks found on cars parked close to the swamp. Most of these are said to have occurred within a 3-mile radius of the swamps of Bishopville. At the time, local law enforcement officials reacted to reports of the lizard man with a mixture of concern and skepticism. stating that a sufficient number of sightings have been made by apparently reliable people for them to believe that something tangible was being seen, but also that it was more likely to be a bear than that of a lizard man. Mammoth. The woolly mammoth is an extinct relative of the elephant that lived in North America and Europe during the Pleistocene epoch until about 1700 BC. These were smaller than average mammoths due to limited food supplies. Woolly mammoths were about 9 to 11 feet tall at the shoulder. They had great curving tusks that they would use for sweeping snow off the ground to get to the grasses and mosses on the ground that they eat, and possibly for fighting, similar to modern elephants. Like musk oxen, woolly mammoths were adapted for the cold due to their long, shaggy hair covering their bodies. While generally accepted as extinct, there are claims of woolly mammoths still alive in the remote areas of the tundra of the northern hemisphere. Many Native American Indian tribes have told tales that concern the animal. The Northeast Algonquins told of a great moose with a kind of limb growing between its shoulders, a fifth leg used to prepare its bed, while the Naskapi of northeastern Labradors knew of a monster with a long nose they used to hit people. Siberian tribesmen have reported large shaggy beasts to local authorities, though there has been no scientific proof. The mammoth has been sighted in Asia, South America, North America, Russia, and other places as well. Mantis Man. Mantis Man is a roughly 7-foot-tall, bug-like creature that has been reported in Hackettstown, New Jersey, near the Musconetong River. This cryptid mostly resembles a praying mantis and is unlikely to be related to the Mantidae order. Megalodon. Megalodon is a giant shark similar to a great white shark due to the fact that they live the same lifestyle but they were not related. Living from 15.9 to 2.6 million years ago during the Cenozoic era, this shark is now known only from teeth. Because of this shortage of data, estimates vary regarding its likely size, though it is universally agreed that megalodons can reach lengths of an excess of 50 feet to 54 feet. Megalodon, meaning big tooth, had teeth at least 7 inches long and had a mouth that could expand to engulf an elephant whole. Although widely regarded to have gone extinct to the late Pliocene, some believe that they may survive to the present. Makoli Mbembe. The Makoli Mbembe is a neo-dinosaurian cryptid reported mainly from the Republic of the Congo and Cameroon, where it is alleged to inhabit swampy or marshy wetlands, lakes, and rivers. It is particularly associated with the Lakula region and Lake Tele, but is also reported from a number of other bodies of water. The Makoli Mbembe is described as a large amphibious animal with a bulky body, a long neck and tail, and a small head. A description which has long suggested a sauropod dinosaur to many cryptozoologists, although a wide variety of other reptilian and mammalian identities have been suggested. Montauk Monster. The Montauk Monster was an animal carcass that washed ashore on a beach near the business district of Montauk, New York in July 2008. The identity of the creature and the veracity of stories surrounding it have been the subject of controversy and speculation. The corpse was eventually decided by experts to be that of a water-degraded raccoon that had its hair and flesh torn off. Naga. Naga is the Sanskrit and Pali word for a deity or class of entity of being, taking the form of a very great snake, specifically the king cobra, found in Hinduism and Buddhism. The use of the term Naga is often ambiguous, as the word may also refer in similar contexts to one of several human tribes known as or nicknamed Nagas, to elephants, and to ordinary snakes, particularly the king cobra and the Indian cobra, the latter of which is still called Nag in Hindi and other languages of India. A female Naga is a Nagi or Nagini. Ningen. Over the past few years, rumors have circulated in Japan about the existence of Arctic humanoid life forms inhabiting the icy waters of the Antarctic. Reportedly observed on multiple occasions by crew members of government-operated whale research ships, these so-called Ningen are said to be completely white in color with an estimated length of 20 to 30 meters. Eyewitnesses describe them having a human-like shape, often with legs, arms, and even 5-fingered hands. Sometimes they are described as having fins or a large mermaid-like tail instead of legs, or even tentacles. The only visible or identifiable facial features are the eyes and mouth. According to one account, crew members on deck observed what they initially thought was a foreign submarine in the distance. When they approached, however, it became clear from the irregular shape of the thing that it was not man-made, it was alive. The creature quickly disappeared underwater. Owlman. Owlman is the name given to a large owl-like humanoid entity, noticeably similar to the Mothman. It lives in Cornwall, England, and has been sighted several times. The first sighting took place in 1976 in the village of Waunan. The Owlman is sometimes seen as the English counterpart of the Mothman due to the similarities between the Mothman and Owlman. Hey guys, thank you for watching part 2 to the Cryptid Iceberg. This took me way longer to put out than I needed to. I've just been very, very busy, so I haven't been able to put time away to get this finished. But don't worry, I'm going to get part 3 out soon enough. Probably a lot sooner than this part came out. So if you like this video, just drop a like and a comment, and that'll be it from me. And if you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button, toggle the notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.